Hi, come edit with me. This is going to be editing in a dark setting. Specifically, it was my churches and night of worship, and editing in a dark setting can be difficult. So let's get into how I do this. First things first, I'm big on organization, and I've mentioned in previous videos, when you're starting a new project to start a new Lightroom catalog. But with this one, it's a retainer client, so I have a Lightroom catalog that I use consistently. And I'll show you what that means for organization in a minute. So this is the last photo shoot that we had done. I mean, it was Christmas Eve service, it wasn't a photo shoot. But here we are in February, raw, night of worship. Command A, highlighting all my photos, dragging them into my catalog, into my library. Import please. And it's going to take a minute to import all of my new photos. It looks like there was 294 photos. And my previews are working great. Okay, so I'm on what I just imported. I'm going to hit Command A on my keyboard to select all of those photos and create a new collection. O2 Night of Worship. I can tell that they are all selected by the way that there's a white box around them. So I'm going to scroll down at the bottom and click over here so that they're not all selected. And I'm going to go into the first photo right here and apply my preset and just tweak some things. Let's see. Okay, that's a good wide one. Don't need multiple. Let's just start going through them. My other editing videos I've talked about, if you want to edit fast, I'll link that one up here. It kind of depends on each photo session that you're working on, because then in the other video that I did on editing the whole session with me, that one I went photo by photo. This one I'm also going to go photo by photo because the lighting changes and the settings change, and so they're all going to need tweaking. So here we go. I want contrast, but maybe not that much contrast. Let's see. There we go. And because it's the photos from the lighting from the stage is so blue, it is hard in doing church photos, making church photos in a dark auditorium look good. Even taking the photos, you got to have a lot of confidence just walking up in front of all the people, turning, and then taking their photo. I'm working on my confidence in just owning it, because that is what I'm being paid there to do. So I'm here to take your photo. Okay. Now, with dark photos, when you're bumping up the exposure so much, there's going to be some noise that happens. Noise is like when it looks grainy like that, but there's this balance between leaving noise and then actually being able to see the photo, see the face or see the subject. Because watch, if I scroll down where there's not noise in this corner right here, you can't really see their faces. So I'm okay with some noise because I want to be able to see the faces of the people. And then also just from a use of how is this client going to use the photos? So we're promoting a night of worship, baptisms, and communion. So a photo like this doesn't really communicate anything. It looks like the kid is just, they're watching the kid. So I'm going to delete that. Here's a nice little worshipful hands. Straighten it. Another one. And let's see. one black and white. Black and white. And then this one, it looks like when I'm doing these, I have to keep my shutter down so that I can actually capture people's faces because it's so dark, which means there's a little bit more blur and movement. Like I know she's not fully in focus, but it still is a good enough photo, I think, to keep. Okay, here we go. Because the lighting on the stage is so much different than the lighting in the audience. Again, some noise, but we're okay with that because we want to see their faces. It's an accidental shot. Boom. Okay, noise, perv. I like it. It's working. Making our way downtown. Editing these fairly fast because I want to. Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, this was so cute. This daughter and mom. She was pointing out something fun. And again, knowing the function of, I also run my church's social media. And so knowing this was a night of worship, this was a night of baptisms and communion, like I said. And so this photo is going to be great for, we do night of worships quarterly. So for the next night of worship, I can say, like I can caption this photo. You're gonna, you don't want to miss out on seeing the new people being baptized, or something like that, So knowing the function of where these photos are going, what's the use of it? They might be for social media, they might be for the website, they might be, I know our church prints photos, like when you get baptized, you get a printed photo sent to you of like, you made the decision, here you go. So obviously we capture the baptism photos, so those I'm gonna keep. I kind of want to try warming this up a little bit. Now this is cute, showing like we're families. I know because it was just last night. It was like, I raised my hand in worship and the mom is raising his hand. Very cute. Showing legacy and multi-generation at our church. Some of them, okay, the noise is up, but I'm going to apply the same. Let's see. Okay, I wonder if sometimes doing black and white kind of helps hide the noise. And it's more reflective, worshipful, I feel like it can be. I don't like the framing of this photo, so I'm going to delete it. Oh, but I don't necessarily want this one in black and white. Well, maybe I do. Bump, bump, bump. Oh, something I always forget to mention it towards the beginning, but making sure your lens correction is set to your camera and your lens, because look at this. It just helps, like bump it just a little bit. This one, it's a little too noisy for my liking. You can go crazy. Whoa, that's too much noise. Okay, dark setting edited. Yes, it's noisy. But again, what's the function of this? It's showing people are worshiping. And then if I apply the same, it's going to go boom. Oof, not good. Way too bright. So we're going to bump this exposure down. Make it a bit more blue so that it matches. Yeah, his skin tone is looking more normal right there. I don't like the blur of that. I know this next one is better. Pump the exposure up a little bit there. Kid playing with mom's hair during worship, maybe not the best thing to communicate. No, this one is so dark and so blue. Let's see. If I bump it up a little bit more, that is pretty noisy. Up there on the top there. But I'm okay with it because they're in focus and they're worshiping. It's going to be a similar one. I like the composition of that one better. focus. I shoot on a Sony a7 III, which is good for low light, which really just shows you how low light this auditorium really is. Because I get it, the setting of worship, of spending time connecting with God, it's more reflective in your mind, and so you don't want to have all the lights on and everybody seeing what you're doing, but it also just makes it very hard to capture photos of what people are doing and how people are worshiping. And yes, stage ones are good, but you also, as a church, you want to show the people engaged with worship. Yeah, I like it. This one where her hand is more in the front versus that other one. Okay, now that the photos are exported, I'll just quickly talk you through what has happened. So the stage photos are very bright and well lit, whereas the pictures of the people are more dark. So it's finding the balance between how much noise you want to allow versus the subject still in focus. And I think so much of like editing in with a darker setting is knowing what's the purpose of the photos. Like maybe it's just a fun photo shoot that you did, or maybe it's a church night of worship. That what's going to be the function? Where are these photos going? Bumping up the exposure, playing around with the temperature, and knowing the function. I hope this video was helpful in just tips on editing in a dark setting. And you could check out more of my edit along with me videos. There's some different things that different photo sessions require when you're editing. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.